Hello everybody, here are some tips on how to work and practice your oral exams, especially the reading skills, the reading part. Okay, so what you do is you go on iCampus and you get the brochure and you start working all your way up until graphophonemics. So make sure that you pronounce these short vowels properly. So for the ah sound, big smile, ah, okay. Rat, this one, pet, pet, pet. This one, kind of contracted sit, pas sit, mais sit. Oh, okay, this one is really back, and kind of short. Not. This one is tub. There are different varieties, so in American English you'll have something a bit more central, like tub, that sounds a bit more like tub in French, not quite. If you're from the north of England, you might say tub, okay, etc. So make sure that you pronounce these long vowels without the R if you choose to have a British accent. Car, nothing else. Keep the mouth open. Car, first, no, don't move. Hurt, okay. For these, make sure you go up until the A. Rate, Pete, side, sight. Go up to the I. Okay, that's a problem that a lot of students have, French students. Note and tube. This one is quite hard. Rare. Open the mouth at the end. Rare. If you see that, if you stop and say rare with the mouth open, that's good. Good sign. Near. Fire. So you kind of glide. You don't say fire, but you say fire. The other one, more. Just don't move. More. Okay. Lure. With a kind of mouth open again. Okay, so try and practice that. Make sure that you know how to pronounce them, because they're going to be in the list of words. A lot of words, similar words, are going to be in the list of sentences that you will have to read for the exam. They will include, words like that, for example. So make sure that you read them out flat, near, or, sir, note, go up to the O, note, myth, creed, big smile for creed, perth, rump, flew, width, bear, pure, cart, rock, march, ferry, lake, aller jusqu'au lake, etc. So you can just practice these and then practice these as well. So these, after a voiceless fricative, th or s, you more likely to have an R in British English. After, castle, fasten, grass, ask, clasp. So practice these, nasty. Same for that one. Example, advance, dance, lance, demand, answer. Okay, try and fit R, kind of quite low R. But there are some exceptions like band, So band, gland, hand, stand, clamber. Okay. This one, almond. Get rid of the L. Almond, calm, palm, psalm, calf, half. Salmon. Donc attention, maybe you'll have salmon in the exam. Etc. for ball. Salt, more, walk, talk. Okay, so try and do these. These are difficult. OM, ON are usually pronounced company, compass, front, frontier, one. Actually, a lot of people now say one. Just like the man in the lab. Accomplice, pummel, among, honey, money, onion, wonder, accomplish, some, conjurer, monger, monkey, sun, London. A lot of people say, London, become, Somerset, constable, month, sponge, Monday, comfort, stomach, done, monk, none, ton, come, effrontery, monetary, once. A lot of people say once or twice. So you will hear some kind of variation, but officially it's supposed to be that sound. Above, covenant, covert, dove, glove. So practice these aloud. And then it's a great idea to insert them into a sentence. So maybe practice saying, I don't have a lot of money. I've only got an onion and a bit of honey as well in my bag, for example. Or I could feel honey once coming onto my tongue or something, something weird like that. So you can do that for all of these. It's important also to make sure that you practice A, go up to the A, saint, male, paint. So when you say saint, if you say that slowly, you should normally feel your tongue go up and kind of hit your palate or hit your teeth at the back. Saint, paint. At least you should touch the top over there. Porn. What about, and this one is like, you should actually end with some kind of a kiss. Boat, road, hoax, dough, row, or as if you were sulking a little bit, something like that. If you don't really want to imagine that you're producing or making a kiss there. Road, coast, and then you can try and practice this as well. Bread, lead, breadth, meadow, thread, pleasure, feather, and try and imagine that you put that into a sentence. I bought some bread yesterday. I don't like lead. He's a very steady man. I want to measure the length of vowels in my data set. It's very pleasant to have breakfast with a jealous man, for example, or jealous woman. I endeavoured to repair the weapon, but its breadth was too large for me. So I went for a walk into a meadow and I found a thread. This gave me a lot of pleasure, and next to it I found a nice feather that fell on my breast. And this girl is a very zealous person. She likes to look at heaven, for example. She's not very good at that realm, or that realm is a very complex one. But yeah, he's dead already. I read that book yesterday and tread upon a treasure on next to the heather, and was out of breath. So you see, you can just imagine doing this, just to insert that into a sentence, because in the exam it's going to be into the sentence. So this is very important. Make sure that you also reduce. So that's for the stressed vowels, but what about the reduced? Okay, you've got also the silent consonants first. So practice this as well. Air, honest, honour, hour, knack, knave, kneel, knife, knit, knob, knock, knoll, not, no, knuckle, knocks, nat, gnaw, gnome, etc. Noon, Suffolk. If you want to get a model, you can listen to the lab again. So go down there and listen to the lab units. Okay. So avoid the oral comprehension, but just do these. Maybe listen, repeat section. Okay, here is some pronunciation. So I think. So what is also important is that you remember the rules about word stress. So if you have a word that ends in ion, ik, ickle, itty, ify, then you're going to have the stress just before it, and make sure that you put a secondary stress as well. So don't rush too much when you read your sentences. So let's imagine that this little bit of the brochure is the exam. So pronunciation, I'm going to put a lot of stress there. Okay. Here is some pronunciation. So some is not stressed, it's reduced. Here is some pronunciation. Ration never rhymes with nation. Okay. Say prefer, but preferable, comfortable. So but it's not too strong. It's not too strong. It's very subtle. Vegetable. Be must not be heard in doubt. Must not. Okay, must not be heard in doubt. So make sure that the important words are really louder. Okay, so there's a bit more energy there. If you read, for the example, det and dumb, both leave it out. Okay, so det, get rid of the B, dumb, get rid of the B, both leave it out. In the words psychology, not psychology, psychology, psychic and psychiatry, you must never sound the P. Okay, psychiatrist, you call the man, you call. So try and make sure that you pronounce not you, but really you call the man who cures the complex if he can. So make sure that all the important words are really strong, and the rest just forget about it. Okay. So this is something that we are going to assess as well. So the way you pronounce the stressed vowels, and if you pronounce the grapheme properly, if you do not pronounce some of the silent consonants, because this is a kind of a trap, and if also you really put a lot of energy on the important words and important syllables of the words, and let these little grammatical words kind of down and not better. Well, this is what we call the weak forms. So just make sure that, because if you actually put a lot of energy on the words, the lexical words, then normally the grammatical words are going to be a bit weakened naturally. If you want, you can send me an email and say, is that reduced enough? So take a little sentence maybe. Well, take this sentence, for example. Please remember, say towards just as if it rhymed with boards, weights like